Welcome to the UglyMugsPodcast. I'm your host, Quincey.
And your other host, Justin.
So today, we'll start with your tea.
It is Celestial Seasonings. It is... Oh no.
True Blueberry.
True Blueberry. I knew it had an adverb. And then, of course, a honey stick, just because I wanted a little bit sweet. I've been feeling rather crummy the last 2 days, so this is actually... I'm feeling a lot better now. So this is good stuff. Yours, however, has some very good implications behind it.
Yeah, so I took a trip to the local Walmart, and I got Laughing Man K-Pods, Keurig Pods. So this is the Columbia White... I don't know how to say that. Whiteley? Okay. I'm bad with things like that. Sorry, guys. So I didn't know about this company until I bought this coffee, which, first of all, is actually a really good cup of coffee. It's not overly strong. It mixes well with my creamer and sugar. I'm pretty happy with it. But apparently this is a company that Hugh Jackman's a big part of. And it's to help out coffee farmers in a sense. So I pulled up their site just to read the Our Mission section really quick. And this isn't a sponsor, but I like what they're doing, so I'm willing to talk them up here for a minute. So this is Our Mission. The Laughing Man Foundation supports coffee farming communities by investing in programs that clear the way to health, growth, and success for coffee farmers and their families. And then you can click on a few of the links on the website to see some of the more details about it. But I'm all down for helping people out, first of all. Second of all, you add in the fact that I get to have good coffee. I'm a pretty happy camper.
And then on top of that, Hugh Jackman.
Yep, and then it's Wolverine, so...
Yeah, he signed, of course, like a copy-paste of his signature on the cover of it.
They have a... What do you want to call it? Photocopy?
Yeah.
Endorsement. Yeah, that works. Yeah, it's got his signature on there and everything. He's happy about it. And at first, I didn't even realize it was Jackman. I'm looking at the photo like, this guy looks kind of familiar. Because he's got big smiles. I'm like...
And it's not exactly like a forward image.
No, it's not at all.
It's him working on a field.
Yeah, and then I was like reading the back of the box, and then I get to the bottom, and it's got the signature, and then underneath in print, it says Hugh Jackman. I was like, holy crap, this is Wolverine coffee. Wait a minute. So I'm pretty happy with it. I'm enjoying it.
Good.
Now, we got news kind of all over the place today. And then we also, we were talking about a topic to discuss, and I kind of had a thought. We could discuss we could discuss movie reboots.
Okay, we certainly could.
And just kind of, I just kind of want to see where we are on the scale of yes or no to a reboot. Like when you hear the reboot word reboot, do you freak out or do you go wait for what movie? How do you approach the word reboot?
I do the latter. I do the wait a minute, which one? Because Punisher became, of course, the TV show or the Netflix series. And I like that almost as much as I do the Thomas Jane variant. Of course, not Warzone enough, but it's more along the lines of that. And then when you mention, but I mean, like things like Venom, having it be reintegrated in hopefully number 2, it'll be better if number 2 happens.
I mean, Sony just came out and said that they've got the next 9 years of Spider-Man movies planned out. I'm just hoping that that's 9 years of Into the Spider-Verse, not 9 years of Venom.
Yeah.
So we'll see. All we can do is say we'll see.
Yeah.
But there were certain things like when they said they were going to do a reboot for Tomb Raider, I was like, I don't know.
I was super skeptical.
I saw that it was like these movies are going to be based off the new set of games, and I was like, okay, I'm more accepting of that versus the previous ones that were more based off the N64 era.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I understand that. Because you can't have Angelina Jolie playing, what? How old is she in the games? Like maybe 22?
Maybe.
So I kind of get that. When I hear reboot for Mortal Kombat, I go, okay, maybe. Annihilation happened, and ever since then I've been waiting for the good Mortal Kombat to come back. So
you played Mortal Kombat 10.
That's very true.
But then we begin to realize what could use a reboot. Like we can bring in Street Fighter again.
Which you mentioned that around Lauren, she'll flip because Raul Julia as M. Bison.
Now, see, that's the thing. You can't do replacements like that.
Yeah.
But then again, you try and find someone who's like him, but it's like you can't. You really can't. He is a very good actor, and he did a really good Bison, albeit not to the T of who Bison is, but still a good Bison.
Yeah. And then you've got Spider-Man, though, where we're on our third Spider-Man. We have several disconnected movies now between the fact that Into the Spider-Verse happened, and while that's being connected to the comics, the MCU is still its own thing. And then you have Venom that is possibly, most likely isn't. It's kind of weird on whether or not it's connected. Feige is kind of like, no. Sony's like, yes. So it's like a weird gray area there with the connection.
I don't know. As far as that universe is concerned, I'm saying each one's different. So it's like, it is a Spider-Verse technically. This is just their Peter.
Yeah.
Got to kind of roll with the punches if you want them to be connected.
There's also reboots that I feel are completely unnecessary, period. And the one I always go to for this to prove my point is they did a reboot of Footloose.
You're right.
And the only change to it really was the fact that the music was modern. And it's like, okay, sure, I guess kids today don't listen to the police, so you're right, I get the concept there. But also, like, does Footloose still have the point that it had back when it came out?
No, that's why we have movies like Step It Up.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want, How Stella got her fucking groove back. We'll go with that one too. Like you want like dancing to mean something? Redo Stella. Oh wait, they already redid How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
See, and that's another one where it's like I didn't even know they redid that because I just don't see the point in a redo of that. Well, I never would have checked it out.
To be honest, I think it was a sequel.
Oh, was it a sequel?
Yeah.
But then there are movies I want to see a reboot for. I'd love to see them remake Tekken. I want to see it.
I made a cringe face, and I'm just like, I don't know how you can try and pick up from what Tekken movie was.
It doesn't have to be pick up from that movie. Just actually make the game. You know.
I mean, as far as fan base.
Oh, true. You know, let's see. Doom is supposed to be getting a reboot.
I'm okay with that.
I'm fine with it. I didn't think the last movie was terrible, like a lot of people did, but I'm not opposed to a new one either. I mean, that one kind of just falls in on like, I'm down to see some demons get their head shot off.
Yeah.
Cool.
Blood and gore, that's all we are.
I wasn't happy that they're rebooting Hellboy, no matter how good it looks. I hate how good it's looking.
Okay, wait. So you hate it on how good it actually looks?
Yeah, I didn't think it was fair that they didn't let Guillermo del Toro do his third one. I didn't think it was fair that he didn't let Ron Perlman come back and do it, especially after Ron Perlman loved the first two movies and even went and dressed up in the makeup to go visit kids at Children's Hospital, proved how much he cared about the character and cared about like the fans and stuff, just to have them be like, yeah, we're going to reboot this franchise without you guys. And that's not something to blame the movie makers on. I don't blame them at all. In fact, I hope that Hellboy does well because it looks like they're putting the love and care into it. But I'm mad at the studio.
You're mad at their reasonings behind not bringing back those who helped make it big.
Yeah, because let's be honest, Hellboy was not a household name.
No, it really wasn't. Hellboy 1 is still on my top 10.
It's an amazing movie. I would think that the sequel is really good. I think the problem with the sequel was
Golden Army was way too much in way too short of a time.
Yeah. It tried to show you more of the world than we've ever seen in a very short amount of time.
And then it was like, oh, now we're introducing this Golden Army that's supposed to be an unbeatable, formidable foe. Also, here's another thing with another lineage that we didn't really explain too much of. Also, this is actually the sister of that person of which we were talking about that has the lineage of the Golden Army.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. Give us some good lead up. Give us some good lead up. If you don't give us any lead up, we're lost. It was still very well entertaining. It was just very all over the place.
We've already had it happen once, and I would like to see it happen again. We had a Hellboy animated series. It was pretty good. I'd love to see it continued because I think that's... It would be too expensive to do it as a TV show, so you have to do it in animation. But I think animation is the way to be able to have enough time to properly show us the universe that he's in. Because he's in one hell of a universe. There's so much going on in there that you don't get from the first movie. In the first movie, it's very much like sometimes things go bump in the night and we bump back.
Yeah.
But the second movie, it's like, oh, here's this entire sprawling city. And I'm not saying anything against Del Toro because I thought he did amazing work. It's just, it was a lot to take in.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious on how much they cut. Because Del Toro likes to cut a lot just to make it viewable in one sitting. So it makes me wonder how much was cut. If he could have just made a whole third movie with what was given. Because there's a lot in that universe. And you're right. There is the whole Ghostbusters aspect to them.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious on having them bring it back through an animated medium.
That reminds me of a funny thing that you're talking about. Maybe they could have made a third movie with how much was cut out. The reason why Back to the Future 2 ends with a next time is because they were making Back to the Future 2 and went, wow, this is a really long movie. Kept making it and went, wow, this is a really long movie. Then they called up the studio and go, we think we have 2 movies here. And the studio went, finish the one you're working on before talking to us about a second one. And they went, okay. So they ended the second movie, put in the next time stuff, and sent it out to be looked at by screen testers. And the studio's like, wait, what? Next time? What are you talking about? They're like, yeah, for all the footage we have and the story we have for the third movie. And they're like, well, now we have to make it. And that's how Back to the Future 3 happened. Because they were trying to make one really big movie and realized it was too much.
It was too big.
Yeah. Another movie that something similar happened to was Superman 2 was finished before Superman 1 was. Oh, he was Richard Donner, there was a lot of drama behind the Superman movies.
Okay.
2 different directors, 2 different cuts, all kinds of stuff. But basically Superman 2, cellophane-esque and all, were completed before Superman 1 was. So, movies are kind of a weird thing to make, I guess. What you can chop it up to.
Unless you say, this is what I'm making, how I'm making it, who's going to be in it, and that sort of thing. Because if you cut, let's say, Titanic. You take a 2-hour and 15-minute movie that it already is.
2 VHS tapes.
Yeah. And you cut it down to, let's say, an hour and a half. You're losing a little bit of a lot of good drama, good plot. You're not getting those notes of Jack Dawson and Rose. Like,
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
But I get what you're saying, and it kind of comes down to, like, they had no choice but to do a 2-hour and 15-minute movie there.
Yeah.
Because who's going to pay to see Titanic 2? This time it sinks. Like...
Titanic 2, oopsie.
Whoops, we hit the iceberg, That was a one-movie type of situation.
Yeah. So it makes me wonder if they actually did keep everything in, how long Back to the Future 2 would have been.
Would have been huge, because the whole West thing that is 3 was originally, they filmed parts of that for 2 and then realized. Oh. And that's how they were able to do the next time thing.
Wow.
Like, it was going to be a massive movie. He was supposed to go to the past, fix the whole almanac thing. He was supposed to go to the future, get the almanac, cause the whole thing in the past, have to go back, get the almanac, try to come back to the present, but get stuck in the past, to have to go even further into the past to the West to save Doc, and then come back to present day. A jumbled mess. Complete jumbled mess.
It does seem like it was.
That's a franchise that if they ever reboot, I'll boycott.
You think so?
If they ever try to reboot Back to the Future, I'm 100% against it.
What if the original actors stand behind it?
I don't care.
You don't care?
It doesn't need to be remade.
It still holds up.
It holds up. It's practically the best you're going to get when it comes to time travel, only because the flux capacitor kind of covers the, different timeline thing. But I'm sitting here trying to do diagrams with my hand for you on audio. But there's no need to remake it. And there was rumors a while back, and they got squashed, that The Rock and Kevin Hart were doing a remake of it. Because that's the rumors that we keep getting, because that's what happened with Jumanji, and it ended up being a thing and whatnot. And I was like, I won't watch that. Like, there's no way. And I watch practically anything The Rock's in, and I would not watch that. There's no way you could get me to watch that.
Jumanji 3 is in post-production.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't watch Jumanji 2, but it's fine.
I'm just saying, it did well enough to warrant another sequel.
I didn't say it was bad or anything.
I know. I get what you're saying, but yeah. I'm also saying that it's worth looking into.
Not for Back to the Future. No, not
for Back to the Future. No, for Jumanji.
Yeah, I mean, the Jumanji sequel, from what I understand, it paid its homages to the original. It did well. And I'm not even saying there's anything wrong with Kevin Hart or The Rock acting together. They probably play off each other really well. Jack Black was in that as well, and that's just another way that, you kind of wrote me in. I'm spacing on the actress's name, but she plays, Blue Chick in Guardians of the Galaxy. I can't think of her name. Nebula. She plays Nebula, and she was one of the Doctor's companions. She's the chick in the sequel.
Okay.
Jumanji sequel.
Okay.
I like her. She was probably my second least favorite companion, but I didn't think she was a bad companion. I know you're not a Doctor Who guy.
Not yet.
But we'll get there. There's a lot of ground to cover there. A lot of research you have to do. But we can move on to the news if there's no more reboots you want to talk about.
No, but there is an idea. an idea of a reboot on things that have been for long gone. Like, let's say a reboot of, Labyrinth. Do you think that they could do...
It holds up. I don't think it needs a reboot, and that was from the great time of, Jim Henson's Creature.
And David Bowie's
Crotch. That's very true. Now, there have been rumors of a sequel, and there's also been rumors that a sequel with his son.
Some people say that Dark Crystal is a direct cross. That's in the same universe.
I could see same universe, but I don't want to accept that even as a sequel. Okay. But there have been talks that there's sequels, and if they were to do it, the way to do it would be Bowie's son. Either let him direct it or let him star in it, one or the other.
Oh, hell yeah.
Both.
Or both.
Because he made the biopic about his father after his father passed.
Okay. Yeah, we talked
or a documentary, not biopic.
But yeah, I keep saying this week in, week out. I don't want to be disappointed.
Yeah.
That's all.
I'm just tired of being let down.
Yeah.
So I do agree that when something gets old enough, sometimes you can remake it. But there are certain movies that were done so well the first time they don't need it. Do not remake Gone with the Wind.
No.
First of all, no one's going to sit through it again. Second of all, it was a masterpiece its first time around.
Now, what about Citizen Kane?
I hated it. I know. So this brings up a big thing. I took film classes. I wanted to be a director. I've tried to write scripts. I love movies. I collect movies. And Citizen Kane is considered one of the number one movies of all time. I find Citizen Kane to drag and be boring as hell. I fully understand it. And I understand that at the time, it was the number one movie ever made.
Okay.
Since then, I'm sure that there's something better.
Okay.
Have I seen it? Possibly not. But I do not think Citizen Kane is as great as everyone says it is.
Okay. I mean, I have a couple movies, but I'll save them for another time to discuss.
Okay.
Let's go into news.
All right. So this was one thing I didn't mention to you today.
Oh, God.
So you keep talking about Gearbox being in and out of the news and
oh god,
whether or not they're closing.
They're talking about fucking Borderlands 3.
So they tweeted a photo.
Yeah, it's all blurry.
No, it's not blurry.
Oh, the one I got was blurry.
No, this one's not blurry. So they tweeted a photo and they said, I guess it's time to start teasing more stuff for PAX or something along those lines.
The photo I got was blurry.
And I'm going to slide this photo on over to you. There you go. Now, I don't know what this means because doesn't look like anything I've seen in Borderlands. So I'm gonna let you kind of look at that for a second and decide if it's Borderlands or if it's something else.
I think they're doing System Shock.
You think that's what that is? It's a weird robot thing.
It is a weird robot thing, but System Shock was in the realm of robots and fake arms and that sort of thing and psionic nonsense, but it was very dark.
For those of you that haven't seen the image, it's like a red doorway looking into a room with some what looks like pretty old computers on the back wall. Think like Cold War era type of stuff.
Yeah.
Numbers mean Mason. With what looks to be some kind of robot body. It's got boots.
That's just fucked up.
Laying on a table with a bunch of wires running down to it, running out from it. And it's got a big, like, ovally bluish light kind of shining down on it.
The image I saw, on the other hand, was a very pixelated, like, grainy, I'm talking 2 megapixels at best, of what looked to be Borderlands colors, a little bit of pop and clarity to it. With what looked to be Marcus holding a couple guns in the background. So it seems like they're going to announce a few games at PAX.
Yeah.
East.
They just said PAX on this one. So I don't know if they mean East or West.
Or Prime.
Okay, or Prime.
I think Prime's August.
They could open up just a fourth PAX just to screw with us. No,
PAX Basic.
I'm open to more Gearbox games because I have enjoyed them. Yeah. I just want them to kind of get their shit together.
I mean, I'd like to lend my hand to them again. Just give me an open, and I'll write a QA for them on my open hand time. Just give me access.
So, I mean, I like the whole. I'm gonna kind of tease a little bit, get you excited for the convention, get you excited for our announcement. But don't send me blurry images. I didn't see the one you're talking about, the blurry image thing. Well, that bothers me.
It had a lot of detail for it being blurry. It had a lot of fucking detail.
Well, We'll see. We'll have to wait for PAX. We'll do PAX coverage. We'll do all 3, I'm sure. We'll do plenty of coverage. Now, here's something I had that was a little smaller. I'm not going to go through the whole list. I mentioned this to you a little bit. HeroClix announced some more HeroClix for the year. They did some mock-ups. They look pretty good. Now, I went to check HeroClix's actual release for this year, and they've got a crap ton of stuff releasing this year. Most of it's Marvel, but they got a little bit of DC. They got some Star Trek in there. So I'm not going to go through the whole list because it would take a while. However, they are doing a HeroClix set that's supposed to be made after the 90s animated X-Men, and that's pretty awesome. I don't play HeroClix, but I almost want the figures just because of how good the mock-ups looked.
I mean, they're about, what, 1.5 inches, 2 inches?
Oh, yeah, they're tiny, yeah.
So, I mean, they are really small, but then again, they're inexpensive.
Yeah, they're not too bad. Normally, you can buy like a team pack where you get several of them at once. So, it'd be kind of cool. You had a few things.
Nothing's coming up on my thing.
Okay.
Oh, no.
He thought he had a few things.
I thought I had a few things.
The technology is failing him. We need to get you a pen and paper.
We do need to give me Blade Runner 2019.
Oh, the comic.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm open to it.
I'm open as well. I've only seen the OG original. I have not seen the remake.
Now, did you see director's cut or regular for the original?
I'm unsure.
Okay, I suggest director's cut if you're gonna watch it.
Okay.
It's longer, obviously, and so on rewatches you can feel how long it is. But if it's your first time watching the director's cut, it kind of fills in a few more things for you.
It's like, whoa.
Yeah, the director's cut's definitely worth it.
The ideas behind the Endgame, all of the movie posters are kind of teasing at what people are getting, such as the new Hawkeye and maybe an additional subset to the series we're already used to.
Gotcha.
Because there was a still of Hawkeye standing with his girlfriend, waifu, who was shooting arrows in the back, and people are reading.
Shucks.
Yeah, they're reading into it, saying that we have a new Hawkeye.
There's a lot of stuff going around right now about Endgame, and I just kind of want it to come out already so that I can see what is and isn't happening. I was telling you about a fun fan theory about Tony's left arm.
Yeah, and I'm like, that sounds really nice, but I would like to, get a little bit of confirmation. And also, you have to watch Infinity War.
Yeah, true. I'm behind. I have to watch Infinity War. I have to watch the end of Civil War because I had to leave in the middle of it when I saw it in theaters. I have to watch Ragnarok. I have to watch Thor 2. Demon Sea Thor 2.
And then Thor Ragnarok.
And both Ant-Mans.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, well, Ant-Man and Wasp lead up very much to Endgame.
And Black Panther.
Black Panther. Everyone says it's a really good one. It is really good. It's really entertaining. I just watched it about 3 weeks ago. And it's good.
And now Captain Marvel.
Oh, now Captain Marvel.
That's out now.
Yeah, I have to now catch up.
But to be fair, that just came out. And congrats on the big blockbuster to them.
Oh, yeah.
They're making plenty of money off this movie. Some very touching Stan stuff, and I'm very excited to see it.
But with Black Panther, I feel like it's not too connected.
Okay.
Like it's loose.
I still want to see it either way.
Of course. But as far as getting caught up on to the point of Infinity War and Endgame, I'd say 45%.
More than anything, I want to see it because of Killmonger.
Yeah.
That's a big reasoning for me. So I don't really have too much in the way of Marvel this week. I do have some DC news, though, that I can go over to.
Okay.
So I was explaining this to you a little bit. DC Comics owns other companies that they make comics through. So you've got DC Comics, you've got Vertigo, you've got Zoom. So there's a couple different things. Zoom Imprint is releasing a graphic novel. It's called Green Lantern Legacy. And it'll be introducing the first Asian American female Lantern. Her name is Tai Pham. And I'm excited for it. I'm all excited for branching out into different genders, different ethnicities, races, all that stuff. So I hope that she's a fun lantern. And the cool thing about it being through Zoom and the way they're doing it is it's not going to be a single issue thing. You're going to get a full-on graphic novel from this. So it'll be worth what you pay, I'm sure.
Oh, of course.
And she looks good. I saw a mock-up, or not mock-up, so I saw an actual cover photo. She looks good in the costume. I like it.
I read about this, but I didn't know too much about it. Do you know Button Man?
Button Man?
Button Man.
No, I don't think I know Button Man.
Netflix just announced a thing about finding the director for Button Man.
I have no idea.
I'm looking at a few stills of it, and I'm like, it looks gritty, it looks real, but I don't know anything about it.
Now, I may not know what this is, but I will do all the research if the check is right. So,
yeah, I mean,
I will gladly direct your Netflix original.
Yeah.
That being said, Netflix went through and canceled some more stuff again. I'm not going to get into it because it was what we drive on and on about all the time. But they straight up said it's because not enough people were watching. To which I say, how do we know what enough is to you when you won't release your viewership numbers?
And then they get rid of all the things we like, and then we get mad at them, and they're like, "Well, you're not watching it though," and we're like, "But we are though."
Yeah, they don't report the viewerships, and then they say it's not high enough viewerships, so we don't actually know what the numbers are like behind it. I don't know. I don't want to get into it. I feel like I've done nothing but get into this stuff about them and canceling things. I'm going to move on to Dead Cells.
Oh, yes.
So I've got the stats for this, but you've actually played the game.
I love the game. The game is a great 2D variant of Dark Souls-esque.
Now, when you say Dark Souls, do you mean like the way the world is? Do you mean the difficulty?
Both.
Okay.
Because you got the crafter that's super skeptical of you and looks at you very funny. You got the shopkeepers that are just super, they chuckle and chortle at you. They mock you at every turn. Money is the same thing as the leveling up, as well as, leveling up in the game is kind of different.
But very much influenced, is what you're saying, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is it by the same people, or?
No.
Okay.
No, this is independent.
Okay.
And they are very good at updating their games. They are viciously good at updating their games.
Well, and that's kind of what this is about. They are doing a big DLC, and it's free. So that's even better. I like hearing free.
I love free.
So it's going to be known as Rise of the Giant. It will be coming to PC on March 28th. Is this only available on PC? Or
Switch, I believe, has an outlet, but I'm not sure about the other consoles.
Okay. March 28th is when this drops. It'll bring in 2 new areas, 10 new enemies, new skills, new weapons, and a new skinning program that adds 50 outfits. So that's a lot for free.
That is a lot for free, considering I didn't even know outfits were a thing, so it might have been
one of the... Well, it's saying a new skinning program, so I'm assuming this
is the new.
I'm assuming this will be completely new to it, which cool. I'm cool for customization.
Yeah, give me
free customization, even cooler.
I mean, the main character is literally a glob of this green stuff that comes out of the sewers and plops down and fills a corpse.
So Saturday nights at
I mean, kind of.
It'd be cool. They can personalize his corpse husk.
Well, and also his head kind of turns into like a candle looking thing. Like his body is the entire body of the candle.
I'm gonna have to look into this game. It sounds really weird, and I kind of like it.
I love Dead Cells.
Okay.
I was there when it first got launched. I put money into it.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, difficult games kind of piss me off, but I'm also willing that if the game allows me to try, I'm willing,
It's difficult. It's hard as nails, but only because if you let it. You can take your time and go through it, but if you're wanting to get those time doors, because you have to get to point A to point B, which is optional. You don't have to do it, but you do it within a certain period of time, you get a special bonus.
Yeah.
So it's
like I'm playing Resident Evil 7 right now, and I could take the health potions and heal myself whenever I feel I need to, but I'm letting myself get on the verge of death constantly just because I'm back in my head. I'm like, I want that better rating. That's kind of my thing. Like, I'm making the game harder for myself because of how I'm trying to play it.
Then play on Madhouse mode and enjoy that.
Oh, I can't do it until I beat it. I have to play normal through.
I know.
Okay.
Have fun with that. I had 2 panic attacks.
Like, I think the only time I've jumped so far was when the dad shows up the second time.
Oh, through the wall?
No, the wall kind of got me off guard, but that wasn't too bad. After the garage fight.
Chainsaw. No,
Chainsaw's before you even meet the family. It's when he shows back up with the chunk of head gone.
Oh. I don't remember that one. It's been a minute since I played.
But there was one other part where I thought I lost him and went and opened a door, and he kicked the door right as I was opening it. It scared the hell out of me. I was like, ooh.
The mother got me a couple times.
I haven't actually gotten to her outside of the family stuff yet. Okay. So I have to get there still. Grandma keeps showing up in different spots in her wheelchair, so that's a little... She doesn't scare me, but I keep going, hey, Grandma. And then when she's gone, I'm like, oh, Grandma left. But I'm enjoying it. And like I said, it's hard because I'm making it hard for myself. So I could see what you're saying with Dead Cells, where it's like, if you want to make the time thing, it's going to be more difficult. It's hard because you're making it hard. Yeah. Another thing that I have on my list, I feel like we talked about last week a little bit, but I'm going to get into it a little bit more. Detective Comics is hitting number 1,000.
Yep.
33 variants. Mm-hmm. I will not be buying any of them. I'll be buying the regular cover.
Okay.
I don't get into the variant thing. Dynamite Comics is big into the variants. Every time they launch a new comic book, normally it gets like 10, 20 variants. It's intense.
The only variant I ever bought was the Death of Deadpool.
Well, 1 or 2 variants is fine. Like I have comics where I own they've got 2 covers, so I own both covers.
The marriage of MJ and Peter.
Yeah, so I've only got one. I want to get the other, but those.
I thought you had both.
No, I've only got the one downstairs. What you're thinking of? It's only one. I want to get both.
I thought you had. I thought Lauren bought you the one at Comic. We're having an
That's
argument.
That's the one.
No, I thought you had both. I thought she bought them both as a set.
No, they didn't have the other one. We were lucky to find that one.
Bullshit.
No, we'll go over it later. But I have no issues buying 2. I'll even go 3 or 4, but 33 is absolutely insane.
That is not.
And there's a local comic shop in town that is getting their own cover, and I will not be going and buying it. Not just because I don't agree with the variant thing, but also because I don't like the shop, and so
you showed me their shop, and I was like, it looks very tacky. All of these comics are out of order. None of this makes sense.
And then the employees are rude.
Oh, so. Yeah, he was a little snappy.
Yeah.
All I wanted to buy was one war journal.
Yeah.
That was not in great
That's all
condition.
you ever want to buy.
Huh?
That's all you ever want to buy is one war journal.
No. Well, war journal is a long series. Shut up.
So, I want to give... this made me think of something, though. So, I get online, I look at what people have to say about comics, and I want to stress a few things to people who want to get into the comic buying thing that think they can make money. 1, making money off comics is damn near impossible.
Because you pay for literally what you're going to get for it.
Basically. 2, if they're selling it cheaper than what you expect, there's a reason. I recently was reading a guy's complaint that he went and bought a Fantastic Four, I don't remember what issue, but he bought for $400, and they guaranteed a 5 grading on it. And when he sent it in, he got it back as a 0.5 grading on it. It was missing pages.
Oh.
You can sell comics without pages. Comic book stores do it all the time. Most good shops will put a thing up there, though, telling you it's missing pages. But flip through your comics, guys. If the shop won't let you open it, there's something wrong. And I've been to plenty of shops that let me open it, and the pages are damaged, but their price still matches.
Yeah.
So it's just a little... I buy a lot of comics that are older. I've learned... I wouldn't say I've learned my lesson because I've never necessarily made a bad investment, but I've never necessarily made an investment with them either. I don't spend a lot on them.
And unlike Quincey, I'm a cover collector. Like, I'll read them, don't get me wrong. I have trades that are filling in any of these. It's just I love the covers. I've Punisher covers I think are very mostly hits, very rare misses.
I've got that Ramita Jr. cover that's got the cover slit so that you can see the page behind it.
Oh yeah,
that one's beautiful.
Those are great. I've the only weird ones that I have that probably would strike a raise of an eyebrow is Frank Castle wearing a full Santa garb for Punisher Xmas.
No, see, I think that's fun. I've got one that I didn't even read it yet. I just bought it because I love the cover, and it's a Venom Christmas one. I think he's in a sleigh.
Oh my god,
it's great. I love it. But yeah, sorry, it's just you mentioning the way that shop was and everything, and us talking about number 1,000. Which, I mean, congratulations to Detective Comics, 1,000 issues. That's a pretty big thing. So I'm happy to see them reach it.
Speaking of congratulations, we had a bit of a discussion earlier about Bethesda.
Yes.
They're turning 25 this month.
Oh,
well, not them specifically. The Elder Scrolls is.
Oh, okay.
So I mean,
happy 25th anniversary Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. So I've been going through. I remember playing Daggerfall in my grandpa's office late at night and into the. it was probably my first all-nighter game that I probably ever played.
Fable for me.
Fable for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else I could beat in a day. So
Daggerfall, Doom, and Myst were probably my 3 that I had on that computer that I just tore into for hours. Mostly Daggerfall, just because it's probably the biggest map to date compared to like Oblivion and Skyrim. It seems bigger than that.
So now here's the thing. For me, Skyrim was my first Elder Scroll game.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went back and started Oblivion, but I haven't gotten very far in Oblivion.
And you're just like, ew.
Well, I'm fine with it. I do have issues going back to some older games. Recently, I tried doing the HD collection for Metal Gear.
Okay.
And the fact that I can't actually properly aim the gun is driving me absolutely insane.
And to think that's what PlayStation 2 had to deal with.
Yeah, and it's just baffling to me. And this is why what we talked about like a week or two ago, where I'm like, I don't want an HD renditioning. I want a remake because a remake would allow it to where I could aim.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things that they fixed with Resident Evil 2 was aiming. So, I do want to go through the Elder Scrolls franchise eventually. And
Morrowind is probably the weakest link out of all of them.
Okay.
Because you'll say, "Oh, I'm very proficient in this weapon." You'll find that weapon and you're miss, and you're like, "Why am I missing? Oh, I'm not over 100 proficient."
Okay, so it's difficult, I guess.
I'm shrugging. Like it's very strange. Here's the Gearbox image that was blurry.
Okay, let me look at this. Okay, that definitely looks like Borderlands.
Yeah,
it looks like almost like 8-bit Borderlands.
And I'm like, that doesn't.
I really hope that they're not doing 8-bit Borderlands. That would be terrible. But yeah, that's not the image I saw. But you mentioning the games brought me up to what I was telling you about Sniper Elite.
Oh yeah, we're getting
new
ones.
Another big thing in games right now is Rebellion. Rebellion? Yeah, Rebellion. Announced 4 Sniper Elite projects. Now to clarify, this is only actually bringing 2 new games. So the way it's going to work is they're doing a remaster of Sniper Elite V2, which will allow it to be on all consoles. Its remaster will cover its add-ons, bringing it to 4K and HDR, as well as extending its multiplayer. Which I never really got into the multiplayer for Sniper Elite, but I know that it's kind of big for some people. So
some people enjoy sitting and waiting for anyone to make a move, if you will.
But the multiplayer that I played for Sniper Elite, it was more you and another guy basically have to go out and take out a bunch of people. It's not you playing against each other.
Oh, it's a co-op.
Yeah, kind of, but they're not the normal missions from in the game.
Okay, I mean, I'd be down to do that with you. Shit.
The other thing is that Sniper Elite 3 is getting its Ultimate Edition for Switch, so that'll be bringing it over to Switch. Switch is getting a lot of titles right now, so I'm glad to see that the game companies are willing to move their games over to a console that came out long after their games did. And then they're also working together with UK's studio Just Add Water to bring us a Sniper Elite VR game.
And I'm curious to know on like if VR is actually still going strong, because ever since I heard Doom Eternal was going to be the last from idware and they were going to call it for a little bit, I was like, that seems to be the last VR game that anyone could be really anticipating.
Well, I mean, this will definitely add to it, but you got to figure that Facebook is advertising their Oculus again. They're on the verge of releasing something there.
I mean, nothing's announced. Well, PAX is right around the corner.
Yeah. PAX will probably bring a lot to this. I don't know. I have a VR. I don't hate it, but I do find it has a insanely lacking amount of games available to it. And a lot of those games, I don't want to pay the prices for them that they're offering.
Yeah.
And then the 4th project that they're doing is they said they are working on another installment to the main game, but they're not calling it Sniper Elite 5. They're not calling it Sniper Elite 5. They're just not giving it a title. They're just saying it will be the next in the main storyline, but not to expect to hear anything on it until 2020. So
we get tidbits, we get breadcrumbs. We at least know they're working on something.
Yeah, and I mean 3 games basically to keep us busy until next year when we get some information. I mean, I'm assuming the VR game won't be very long. No, none of the VR games are, and I won't be getting 3 for the Switch just because I already have it on the Xbox and I don't have the need. But I like the idea of being able to play an updated 2 because I loved 2 or V2. And so being able to play that on the Xbox One, I'll be excited about that. Oh, and for the Ultimate Edition for Switch, they are guaranteeing, like, we're not just calling it the Ultimate Edition, it is coming with all of its add-ons.
Okay, good.
When it comes over to Switch.
All right. Speaking of updating, I'm a huge fan of Left 4 Dead. Quincey, not so much.
I understand the appeal. It just wasn't an appeal to me.
Okay. But WB Games and Turtle Rock Studios, I have no idea who Turtle Rock Studios is, has made a spiritual successor to Left 4 Dead called Back 4 Blood. It's taking the name quite literally from Left 4 Dead.
Which bothers me.
Yeah, and if you want to make it a sequel, make it a sequel. Ask Valve. Valve will probably be like, we don't care. Like, Vermintide already pretty much took the formula and made it work. And, I mean, Vermintide 2 came out, and I love Vermintide 2. I would love to play more of it. It's just, doing it solo kind of, arms flop. Like, I need people.
That'll probably be one we'll have to get into. I've got Vermintide, I think 1 and 2 on the Xbox.
Yeah.
So.
And
if they want to make a new zombie game and they said it is a zombie game, they're saying it's a spiritual successor, I'm fine with all that. But they didn't even back FOR Blood. They back
4.
numerical 4 Blood. I'm like, you're just straight up taking the name.
And it says new features and state-of-the-art technology. I'm like, what are you going to show me that I haven't already seen?
Yeah, give me state-of-the-art technology.
Give me vehicles, give me open world, get from point A to point B, but find your own path. That'd be pretty cool.
Give me what we wanted State of Decay 2 to be.
Yeah.
I enjoyed State of Decay 2.
Okay, I don't mind it. I didn't play too much of it.
I think they made some improvements from 1, but is it what I wanted? No, it's still not what I wanted.
I mean,
I didn't pay for it, so I don't care. Game Pass.
Yeah, freebies. Anthem is still
doing hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their numbers have rose, and people are no longer just playing the game. Their numbers dropped. I just wanted to make a brief mention on it, just to keep people aware that BioWare is fully aware. They're trying to figure out a patch. They're working on it right now. They say a hot patch will go out ASAP. They're hoping by Saturday, which is day after tomorrow for us. And they're hoping that it can fix this. You had something on the PlayStation Vita and then moving on to your phone.
Okay.
I want to know more about that. I forgot we were talking about that, and we kind of got sidetracked.
Last week, I downloaded it on Thursday, but I didn't have it actually connected until Friday. So I didn't talk about it in the last episode. They launched the PlayStation 4 Remote Play app for the phone. It's a free app. You log into your PlayStation account, you go through and you link it to your console. Okay. I tried about 10 times to link it to my console before giving up and not going back until the next night when I finally got it to link.
Okay.
Pain in the ass to get it to link, but you have to be... So now here's the thing. They started this back in 2014 with the PS Vita and one of the others. It wasn't the PSP, but it was another like handheld thing. I think it might have been something Japan had. I'm not entirely sure. But the idea is it works as a remote to your console, but allows you to play the game on your Vita, or in this case, on my phone. Okay. I get to use it on my phone's screen. And they just make the controls like mostly see-through on the screen, and so I can click them and use them. Now, I've got several issues with this. One, there was the fact that it took so damn long to get to connect. Two, this has been out since 2014, and it's only got about 20 games you can use it on.
That's what made me go, wait, what? And I asked you, so how many games out of your library do you have?
1.
And it's a fucking Lego game.
It's a Lego game.
That's terrible.
Furthermore, I don't understand this concept because your console has to be on to do this, but you have to be connected to the same Wi-Fi. So if I'm connected to this Wi-Fi, that means I'm home. So if I'm home, why would I not just play it on my big flat screen TV rather than my tiny phone screen? If I could play it through my phone's data or through someone else's Wi-Fi when I'm at a friend's house or something, that starts making sense to me. But having to be on the same Wi-Fi, I don't understand it. At this point, I only have it on my phone still because I can type on it when I'm searching things.
And another thing of Sony's. So, remember, I think it was 2 weeks ago I talked about Judgment, where it is Phoenix Wright meets Yakuza.
Yeah, I remember.
Big drama. Huge drama. One of the main voice actors for the game got hit up with a cocaine bust. Not a lot. Okay, but in Japan, a small bit of cocaine is a big fucking deal. They have stopped sales on Judgment That is how bad. Yeah, they just stopped sales.
That's rough.
Yeah, I don't understand that flavor of marketing, but at the same time, I'm like, this is a major infraction to Japan and its people. So they are like, we're not going to earn any money. We're just going to stop selling for right now. And I'm like, are we going to see this game in the US?
If anything, they'll probably redo the voice acting.
Well, the game's already been out
for Japan, but I mean for America.
For America, they might recast for the Japanese VO.
They slap in a new voice actor, and then you can sell it overseas, no problem.
But you want to know the really interesting thing about that?
What?
So, for the voice actors, they actually get the likeness model. They actually do 100% of their likeness.
So that's the issue too. Then
okay. They're probably gonna have to retexture, but I don't know if they're going to.
Just give him a mustache. Done.
We're going to Mexico.
Now funny story. So Neil Adams, famous comic book artist, drew the Muhammad Ali versus Superman fight photo.
Oh wow! Okay.
He's had to draw it twice in his life. One of the times drawing it, they decided they were going to have celebrities in the audience. So he draws Jack Nicholson, and he's drawing all these celebrities. And some genius at DC goes, maybe we should ask for everyone's permission. And Neil's like, probably not, because if they say, because they might want money, and they might say no, we've already done it. Let's just do it. They probably won't say anything. No, we're going to ask for permission. A lot of them wanted money or said no. So he literally just started drawing sunglasses and mustaches because he wasn't going to restart. So there's people in there. If you just remove those sunglasses or mustache, they're a famous actor.
Wow.
Yeah, because he wasn't going to restart. It was a huge piece of work of art.
That's actually really interesting.
Slap a mustache on this guy, get a new voice actor, and start selling the game again. Well, bam, bam, boom, done.
Japanese people don't really grow mustaches, so this is gonna be weird.
Well, as long as it's not a Fu Manchu, because that's just racist.
That's Chinese.
That's still racist.
You're right.
It makes it even more racist that it's the wrong one.
You're right.
So, I mean, they'd have to, lumberjack him. Either that or, I don't know, make him wear sunglasses in every scene.
Yeah, sunglasses.
I wear my sunglasses at night
do it
indoors and when I'm going to sleep.
Do it like, what is his name? Sejima Daigo. Yakuza character who always wears sunglasses indoors.
I'm trying to remember what it was, but it was like I don't know if it was an anime or if it was a cartoon, but they take the sunglasses off and there was another pair underneath.
Yeah.
Something like that. Now, something you were excited about, even though you have it on Xbox, you were still excited about this because you're a bigger PC person, was the Master Chief Collection.
Oh, yeah.
So, did you want to talk about that?
Not very much, because I'm still only maybe halfway-ish through Halo 1.
The big news is that it's coming to PC.
It's coming to PC. It comes with ODST and Reach.
Plus multiplayer, which were not part of the original Master Chief Collection.
Oh, really?
Nope. So they're adding a few things to the PC Master Chief Collection because I think Microsoft's trying to be like, don't worry, we didn't forget that you guys are a thing. Despite the fact that they forgot they were a thing for a while.
I had no clue about that, but
it's coming with some stuff that wasn't originally there.
I know ODST and Reach were the only two, but I didn't know the multiplayer was its own
I think
specific. It's
a multiplayer to one of those is what it is. But I'm not entirely sure. I didn't play a lot of Halo. So this one kind of bothers me. So
hit me.
Battlefield 5 has a trailer for their Battle Royale called Firestorm. I'm tired of Battle Royales being attached to other games.
I mean, to be fair, Black Ops' one was actually really fun. It had its good moments. It actually had some good stuff. You go over to this diner and then zombies will pop up. You can kill them for loot. It had little tidbits.
Yeah, no, I'm not against them completely. But the thing is PUBG and Fortnite did it, and it did well. And then suddenly we had 20 other ones coming out. And Apex Legends did well. Darwin Project not so well, but okay. Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, okay.
Then we get the Black Ops one where they put some work into it. Great. I don't know how much work Battlefield's actually going to put into this, and I already don't trust Battlefield. I feel like this is just going to be another attempt at loot boxes.
I mean, EA is either really, really good, really, really bad right now.
Yeah, and to further things, look at what the fuck you had going on with GTA deciding they were going to do it too. It's like, what? No, we don't need this in Grand Theft Auto. We need people to stop blowing us up with damn jets. That's what we need.
And that makes me wonder, will you be able to drive a jet in GTA?
I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I'm not interested. I actually uninstalled GTA for my console anyways.
But heading back over to Sony talks, they just acquired Take-Two.
Oh, no, that came out to not be true.
That came out to not be true?
Yep.
Then look at me looking like a dummy.
Now, it was a lot of back and forth. They debunked it finally. They're not taking Take-Two.
Okay, I wonder why Take-Two didn't do a handshake at least.
I'm wondering if it was never even actually in the works and someone just sparked the rumor.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying that's the case, but it's a possibility. Because, I mean, if you've got Sony money, I don't see Take-Two turning you down if you've got Sony money.
But then again, yeah, it's either you're going to agree with Sony or you're going to agree with Disney. Pick one.
Yeah.
Like, Take-Two will probably get bought out by Disney and then Disney
or Microsoft or Google. I mean, those are the other two.
Google, not yet.
Maybe. So that was something that we kind of talked about off air. So Google has hired ex-EA employee and past Assassin's Creed boss over to Google. We're not entirely sure for what for, but with PAX coming up and what's the other one? GDNC? No, GDNC? Something like that. There's another big tech convention coming up. The theories are that Google's going to be possibly launching a gaming console.
I'm shaking my head.
I don't want it.
If it can be a multifaceted, like it's a pre-built PC that can do turn off everything in the background and handle gaming, like have it be a multifaceted, like the one that I talked about in episode 3, like the one that Project Cars guy were doing.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that because what it is it's a multifaceted entertainment system while also having a browser, a multimedia center, as well as it plays games. If it can do that, maybe. But I would need to hear numbers before I go saying anything.
What I would rather see rather than having yet again another damn console, because I'm getting tired of consoles. I want to see a company finally start making affordable but worthy PCs.
Now, you can just make your own. I know you're like,
no, I'm not against making my own. I don't have the money to make my own. Is the thing. But that's the thing. Like maybe even a company that makes making your own more affordable. The fact that graphics cards cost as much as they do is crap. There's legitimately no reason why they should cost that much.
I'm on the middle ground of I know why they cost that much, and it's a little bit of a tech understanding of this is why it's expensive. I know it's very confusing the way I explained it, but that's the in and out of it. They are expensive because they do what they're told to do. They don't overheat. They make things easier. And some, in the price range that they are future-proof to a degree.
I get that. But we both know that it's not costing them that much to make them. And that's where it kind of breaks down to.
Some. The new RTX series for NVIDIA is apparently costing them more to make. Certain the budget brand ones I think are costing more to make than to sell. But I don't know. I don't know the numbers on like their higher end RTXs, like the 2070s and all that. But
it doesn't just end with graphic cards. It's multiple parts of the processor.
The processors. I can only imagine how much it costs to make those, and they sell them $300-$400. And I'm just,
that's the thing though. I mean, you're talking $300-$400 for a processor, and I still need a power source. I still need a graphics card. I still need RAM. I still need a motherboard. I need I need a case. I need all this stuff. But one part, I'm talking $300-$400, which is console price.
Yeah, and it's all set to go.
Yeah, so that's why consoles are succeeding, and they're not like beating out PC by any means, because PC owners are still very strong in owning their PC, keeping their PCs going. I do like the concept of maybe an upgradable console, so that I stop buying consoles and just start replacing parts.
That seems like an idea.
It's kind of bridging the gap between PC and console, where the part companies still make their money, but I'm not having to go and buy another $500 system because in 4 years you decided that it just got a little bit better. It's like what we were talking about with the PlayStation 5 rumors being out, yet the 4 is not even being used to its full potential.
The Pro, no, it is not. They looked at the statistics of its RAM usage, its processor usage, and its overall graphics intensity. They ran it with, I want to say, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and they were saying, yeah, no number spiked above 60%. And that was CPU usage, and that was on just loading in the textures.
Yeah.
Graphics card, I think, topped out at 43% on a nice Vista view, you know. And it's like, you have all of this potential, and you're not utilizing it. If it can hit 80% all across the board, CPU, GPU, and the processor, I'm stammering and stuttering. Fucking use it. Utilize it. Use everything.
Well, and I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that while people are making games, they're not having the new console to work with. I mean, when they get like exclusive deals to help launch the console, they are. But the guys that are making Shadow of the Tomb Raider, they're not making that on a PlayStation 5.
No, they're making it on a very strong PC.
Yeah. That also isn't being used to its potential, I'm sure, depending on how big they go. So when it moves over to 4, it should run just fine. But for some reason, these console companies go, it runs fine? Yeah. So our console's working? Yeah. Okay, so we should go bigger. Wait, what?
No. Back it up.
You were so close. Okay, hold on. Let's rewind it. So it runs fine? Yeah. Yes. So it's the game company's fault. We should buy them out. What? No! Wait, where do we go?
Took a left turn at Albuquerque, and there we are. We now own 15 game companies.
That we're not doing anything with.
Yeah,
I was looking into. I was playing some old Lucas games the other night. Pretty much anything that's gone up on Xbox recently. Mm-hmm. So I was playing Commandos, or whatever it was called, the one where you play as the stormtroopers.
Ah, okay.
It had Raven at the beginning, and I was like, oh, you know what? Whatever happened to them? The software company, they're still around, working on China's online Call of Duty game for Treyarch or something like that. Oh. And it's like, that's what happened to this company that was helping make some of the biggest titles in Lucas games.
Wow.
It's like what we've been talking about with BioWare and everything. It's like, you guys used to make some strong shit, and now look what you're dealing with Anthem. These companies get bought out and made as subdivisions for these bigger companies, and something happens. Something goes wrong. I don't know. I don't want to see this keep happening to the companies. Like, that's why I'm glad that Spider-Man was such a hit, because that means that's more time that we get Insomniac by itself.
I mean, Sony still owns them, right? Or Sony still has their hand in the pocket, right?
It was just a...
Because I know they did all the Infamouses, all the
yeah, but you forget that there was games between that they did for both consoles and an exclusive they did for Xbox.
I get that, but I mean...
They're willing to sign exclusive deals, which isn't the same as being owned.
Okay.
They did an exclusive for Xbox. Sunset Overdrive.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And that was after Infamous and long before Spider-Man. So, I mean, for all we know, they could do exclusive for Switch. Which, hey, go for it.
Hayao Miyazaki. I'm sliding over to movies. He's announced his retirement a couple times, and he's like, "What? No, I didn't. Shut up." And
which one's that?
Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh, okay. Studio Ghibli?
Yeah. Okay. He keeps saying he's gonna... Well, at least people are interpreting that he's gonna retire. And he's like, "No, shut up. I'm still gonna do this," and he, continues on with his daily life. So, there's that. Dissidia Final Fantasy NT now free. I'm gonna probably grab it as soon as we're done with this. As soon as I get home, I'll probably fly onto that, give it another 1,000 hours. And that's all I really had.
Well, I got one for you.
Go for it.
You're a Castlevania fan, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of Harmony of Despair? Despair? Yeah, Harmony of Despair.
What was that for?
It came out on the 360, so probably PlayStation 3.
I don't recall.
Although, when it was on 360, I don't know if that was bringing it back.
Okay.
Well, my point is, it's now backwards compatible.
Ooh.
And it's only $15. So, Castlevania, $15,
Yeah, all right, I'll take a look at it.
If it's a good Castlevania.
Yeah. I mean, the 3D aspected ones aren't too great, so if it's one of those ones, I'm going to be like, ugh.
I don't remember.
Like Aria of Sorrow, Symphony of the Night, Super Castlevania 4, Rondo of Blood. Like, I can go on and on about the Castlevania games that I've played and I've enjoyed and would like to go back to. There's a couple that I've seen on the 3DS that I want to take a look at, but I don't own a 3DS.
I don't like when they make continuations to a story in a franchise on a device like that.
Elaborate.
I don't want to have to go... I didn't like when they did 2 games that were connected to the Ratchet & Clank storyline on the PSP. Yes, They eventually brought them over to the PlayStation 2, but we never knew that they were going to do that.
Yeah.
I don't like when they make Castlevania games just for the 3DS. Yes, some 3DS games have been becoming now purchasable on the Wii U and probably eventually the Switch, but I'm not going to go out and buy your $300 handheld console so that I can continue my story. And I know that that's what you're thinking is going to happen, and it's not going to work.
Which, I mean, at that time, that actually probably caused a little bit of an uprising against them saying, hey, we don't own PSPs because we're not handheld gamers. We want this on console. And they were like, we could probably market this out later for when they want to buy it. It's like they wanted to buy it then.
Yeah, they ended up bringing them to console. And the biggest problem with bringing them to console, for the Ratchet & Clank ones, that is, the biggest problem with bringing them to console is they didn't fix it to work very well on console. You could tell it was meant for a different platform. And
it's disappointing.
It was rough. It was very, very rough. And very short because PSP games were not as long as PlayStation games. At least original PSP.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Vita was like. I didn't have the Vita. I didn't have the PSP either, but I had the Vita.
I had the original PSP, and one of the only 3 games that I had was, 2 games, I take that back, is Dissidia and Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. Those are the only 2, and they worked well because the control scheme was for that. I'm kind of curious on how NT kind of goes to the PS4, but I guess we'll find out in about 6 hours-ish.
Yeah, I feel like we had talked that was going to be dropping, and so I'm glad that it's dropping, and now you can get an experience. We did because I've never experienced this one because I didn't have we talked about this last week. I remember now, so this will be interesting for me to experience too.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another thing. I know you don't really know it, but The Last Kids on Earth. It's a book by Max Brawler.
Hell no, I don't.
It's being made into an animated series on Netflix.
Okay. Yeah, you'd mentioned it, but
Yeah, the main reason I bring this up is because I'm excited about the cast. The cast is opening up the door enough for me to want to look into this and see where we are, see what I might want to... See if it's something I'm into. And that's because it's got Mark Hamill.
Really?
Who's already amazing just from being Luke Skywalker. Then you add in the fact that he's Joker, and then there's just the final fact that he's a great voice actor.
Yeah.
And so you've got him. You've got Rosario Dawson.
Okay.
Big fan of hers throughout several movies, as well as her being one of the main connectors for the Defenders. And then you've got Catherine O'Hara. You're giving me that face, but you know her. So the first thing I can think of is she's the mom in the Home Alone movies.
Oh, okay.
She's the voice of Sally in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay, now I know. Okay. I guess I never linked the name.
Yeah, so she's and she's an amazing actress in her own. She's also good with voice acting. She was actually I think the only one that was in the Series of Unfortunate Events movie to also be in the TV show.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. So I'm excited. I don't know much about Lauren. Knows a little bit more because she worked at a bookstore. So,
yeah.
But I'm excited to see. I feel like Netflix is doing a little bit better in their animation brackets than they are maybe in their live actions. Because with the animations, I feel like I don't know that it does cost them less, but I feel like they probably think it does. So they're more willing to let it go for longer.
Kind of.
I mean, look at how long BoJack Horseman's going on. Not to say BoJack's bad, because I've actually enjoyed BoJack. But look at how long BoJack's gone versus anything else. I mean, we've seen so many originals get canceled.
Yeah.
Now their first big hit, Orange is the New Black, is getting its final season.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're stronger when they're animating. Like, not that they are stronger, but they as CEOs feel they're stronger.
They look at the numbers and go, that's pretty
acceptable.
good.
Yeah, it's animation. Who watches animation? Or something along those lines. Whatever their thought process ends up being. Yeah. So, and putting stuff on there that, younger readers can watch is good.
Speaking of animation.
Watchers? Whatever.
Viewers.
Viewers. There you go.
Speaking of animation, did you see the trailer for Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
I did not see the trailer, but I do have the comics, so I'm excited about this. I'm glad it's happening.
I saw the trailer. It did a little bit of a good meet and greet. It kind of ledgered in the idea of Batman having to have the reason of disbelief of, oh boy, turtles are talking to me. But then again, he's had weirder.
Yeah. It's a really fun comic series. I'll let you borrow it sometimes. It was a joint between IDW and DC Comics, which is funny because IDW wasn't even the original launching for
Didn't IDW
Turtles.
do Transformers?
IDW does a lot of stuff. So IDW only does licensed products.
Okay.
So they've done Transformers, they've done Ghostbusters, they've done all kinds. And honestly, they do some pretty amazing work. They're basically where you want to go when the movie you always want to get a sequel never got its sequel.
Huh, okay.
They've done some really good Army of Darkness stuff. They've done
really?
Ghostbusters stuff with both the male and female casts, as well as continuing the cartoon series, The Real Ghostbusters.
The 92, 93 one?
I think those were the years, yeah. The one where they had to change Bakeman's voice halfway, or not halfway through, but like 2 episodes in, because originally the guy that voiced Garfield voiced him, and
Oh god.
decided he didn't want to do it or had prior engagements or something, and they brought in a different voice actor.
Okay.
That was the one where Slimer finally got his name. Because he wasn't called Slimer in the first movie. I don't know if you ever realized that.
Mm-mm.
Slimer.
I need to rewatch Ghostbusters.
I got them both. We can watch them sometime. But Slimer didn't have a name in the first movie. It came from the cartoon, which happened between the 2 movies.
Okay.
So no, not the 90s. It would be the 80s. And then fans as well calling him Slimer, and so come Ghostbusters 2, they're like, fuck it, he's Slimer.
Okay.
They say he's the ghost of John Belushi. That's a joke they all make on set because Belushi was supposed to be in the movie.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that's why he eats everything.
That's why he eats everything. But no, IDW is a fun company. I've got a lot of IDW stuff that I'm very happy with, and pretty much anytime they do Ghostbusters, that's on my pull list at the comic shop is IDW's Ghostbusters. They'll come up with a couple issue run and then disappear for a little bit and come back. They've done international. They've done all kinds of stuff. How did the artwork look for the Batman TMNT thing?
It looked like gritty. It looked Ninja Batman-esque.
Okay. Turtles look that way too?
They actually had chins.
I'm trying to think what they looked like in the comics. I think they still had like the roundish head, but they had a point for a chin, I think.
Well, it had a bit of a squarish.
That's weird.
And Mikey had cheekbones.
Ooh, that's kind of weird.
And I was like, aren't these supposed to be regular snapping turtles? Like,
I mean, to be fair, it's like, how do you draw a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle?
Yeah.
There's actually original artwork that came out that someone came across from when they first designed them before their first issue, and they were much more turtle-like, and they're kind of creepy.
and then you got Ra's al Ghul talking to Shredder, and then going and saying,
Raish.
Huh?
Raish.
Whatever. They say, I know one person who can go in, and then they walk up to the Joker who's in his holding cell. Not Mark Hamill.
He doesn't do Joker anymore. So.
I know, but I'm just saying it's not Mark Hamill. It's straightforward that it's not. He does the laugh, and I'm just like, okay.
There have been some decent ones. The voice actor he's not even a voice actor, the actual actor. The guy that did it for the Dark Knight animated series for the Frank Miller comic that they animated, he does pretty good, and his is definitely a different take. And then I love the one they got for the Batman.
That one's the more bubbly art
yeah,
style, right?
He's the and that's the one where he's much more a circus clown in the sense that he does like gymnastics and stuff, and he's shoeless, and so he'll hold on to things with his feet and stuff like that. And I'm spacing on the actor, but he's bigger black guy. He's got like a rougher voice. He's in pretty much anything anime that you've seen. Have you seen? You watch American Dad, right?
Yeah.
He's the principal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he voices the Joker, and it's a really good fit, especially for that Joker, and I really like it. And that's me being thinking Hamill's the best we'll ever have and I've ever had. That being said, Troy Baker, is that his name? Yeah. I loved his Joker for Arkham Origins.
He did it, really?
He does Joker for Arkham Origins, and it's really amazing.
I'll have to look into that.
It sounds like young Hamill.
Really?
Yeah, and that was kind of the idea for the game. That's why they brought in different voice actors. Was they didn't bring in Kevin Conroy to do Batman either. They brought in someone else, and the idea was this is their first year. This is before they've aged, so it's like younger voices.
Like, I'm trying to run my mind through Baker's actual line, and then Joker. I'm like, he must have had to screw his voice up for that. If he's
I haven't personally seen him do it live, but I've seen him doing it on panels, and he eases right into it.
Just bolts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he doesn't have to grab or anything. He's able to do it.
Okay.
But no, I'm excited for the TMNT thing because one, I feel like TMNT
does not get any love at all.
So they've got the new cartoon. They just came out with a new game on the phone that's a lot like a lot of the other games out there that I like, where it's like the team building thing. But I feel like they had those movies in the 90s where it's like the first one was good, the second one was okay, the third one got weird because they went to feudal Japan.
I mean,
and then it was just Nickelodeon cartoons until the CG animation one that they did that kind of worked, kind of didn't work, and then it was just back to Nickelodeon cartoons. And now you've got the Michael Bay ones where I didn't watch them, and the main reason I didn't watch them was I didn't like Megan Fox as April O'Neil.
Yeah, while he was saying that, I was giving the X-nay on the Opus Day, talking about Michael Bay. No.
So
he's a good actor in his own right. It's just director in his own right. Just quit touching the things we like.
I feel like he's seriously flipping through like a Hasbro's 1990s, 1980s toy magazine and picking his movies.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually how he did it.
I mean, to be fair, he produced those. I don't think he directed those. But I want to see some grittier TMNT. And I think it's I don't remember, and I don't want to say a name because I don't want to say it's the wrong creator, but one of the creators of TMNT does not like any of the Nickelodeon stuff, to the point that he doesn't accept Bebop, Krang, or Rocksteady.
Which is bizarre because they are good characters.
Yeah, but he had characters that he created that the show just ignored to make their own instead. Which is, as a creator, I could understand being upset.
You had mentioned about Aladdin's Iago.
Oh yeah, Alan Tudyk is Iago.
And then we had quipped about how, I saw the full trailer for it, and I saw Will Smith pop out and do that, and I was like, okay, cool. I get to see him do a little bit of genie stuff, and then it does a little bit of the music, the da 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 da, and then it ends with the "You'll never have a friend like me." The way Will kind of pulled it out, that seemed like the very last line of the song. He seemed to be fine. So any of the hate that's already generating, he's wanting to fill these shoes well. I'm gonna probably see it.
He had an amazing little thing where he did some respect to Robin Williams, where he said, "I know genies don't wear shoes, but he left some big ones to fill." Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's touching, and I'm glad he said that. And I like Alan Tudyk. The fact that he's doing Iago kind of upsets me, purely from the fact that Godfrey could still do it, because Godfrey's still Godfrey. He's still got that voice. And a lot of people are gonna be like, "Well, it's a remake," except that when they with this Lion King remake, they brought back James Earl Jones to do Mufasa. So it's like, why not bring back Gilbert Gottfried to do Iago? And I'm not saying I don't want to hear Tudyk do it.
And we don't know. He might have actually just said no and just started just being that back burner and just started.
Maybe he hasn't actually said anything that I've seen. So he's just retweeting the negative tweets.
So maybe he's like, "You couldn't get me, you nerds."
But I don't want to take anything from Alan Tudyk because I like him as an actor. He's done voice work for Star Wars, and I liked it. The only thing I'm worried about is I don't want to hear Alan Tudyk trying to do a Gilbert Gottfried impression. That scares me.
Or maybe we're just gonna get a full new Iago.
Maybe.
We literally go from one side of the spectrum with Robin Williams over to the farthest side with Will Smith, and you can't really take one hand and try and do with the other.
Yeah, and it's sad because I love the way their Aladdin and Jasmine look. I think their Aladdin and Jasmine were great casting. And I gotta say, for Jafar, the only thing I'm missing is the little curly Q. Like, give me the little curly Q. Because what is Jasmine gonna play with when she's flirting with you to distract you while Al's going and trying to get the lamp?
And I may have already mentioned this, but I like the Jafar over Aladdin as far as hotness. Real talk.
I mean,
like, how do you make Jafar look hot? He's supposed to be like a lanky.
He's supposed to be like, ugh.
But no, he's fucking hot.
Yeah, but I mean, sexy bad guys.
Oh no, he's hot.
Sexy bad guys get the people into the seats, I guess, right?
I suppose.
It makes you want to see the movie a little bit more, right?
I mean,
it's working.
Don't throw that away.
I'm willing to give it a chance, but I have not seen any of these remakes in theaters. So I don't know that I will see this one in theaters. I may wait to rent it or buy it because that's what I've done with all the remakes so far.
Okay.
I did have another Xbox thing. They're bringing Xbox Live to iOS and Android. And when I read that, I went, "What does that mean?" What, like, that sounds so weird. What does that mean?
It sounds very vague, doesn't it?
So I read into it, and they broke it down.
Okay.
They're bringing the community, the achievements, the gamer tag, all of that stuff to iOS and Android, saying, game developers, use from it what you want, or none of it if you don't want to. So basically, it could be, what's the game you play on your phone?
The game I play on my phone is Puzzles and Dragons.
Okay, so with this Xbox Live thing, Puzzles and Dragons could decide they want to do it, and they can make it to where either they use all of it or they only use the achievement thing, and they could set up achievements for the game, and when you reach those achievements, you get gamer score.
Okay, what can I use my gamer score for?
It's the same gamer score that you have on your Xbox.
Okay, but what do I use it for?
It's a standing thing amongst your friends, but there is a monthly competition now.
Okay.
How many gamer points you get in a month type of thing.
Oh, okay.
So, I could see that, you know. The other aspect is it will allow you to have a preset name you're already connected to on your games, rather than every time you start a new game, either using the name that you already have, obviously, or come up with a new game. I do have like 3 different names across 3 different games right now on my phone because they're all made at different points in my life. But I've had the same gamer tag since I was in middle school, so like it is kind of, I kind of get that. It's not something that's going to cost us anything.
No, it's just a feature.
Yeah, so I was like, that's a weird step. And I guess Microsoft kind of tried to explain it as, we think the community is the real experience, and so we're trying to offer it everywhere you can get it.
Microsoft, chill. You're making me love you.
But, I mean, that being said, I do kind of look forward to the games that have the achievement, because my iPhone has Game Center, which has achievements.
Okay.
So,
all right, fine.
To be able to apply that to my gamer score instead, I kind of like it. And I'm a big achievement junkie.
I know you are.
So...
Hey, did you ever beat this? Yeah. Why do you still have it then? Oh, I'm getting the last achievement.
You'll be happy I deleted 2 games off my console.
I hate seeing full hard drives.
Actually, I'm down to 88%.
Okay. That'll take the sweat off my brow. That shouldn't even be there.
But I deleted 2 games you've been bitching about.
Oh, Mafia?
Mafia and Dead Rising 3.
Oh, wait, Dead Rising 3. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I cleared out some space because... did you hear Toys for Bob did a update for Spyro?
Mm-mm.
It was like 1,006 megabytes or something like that.
1,006 megabytes? That's less than a gig.
Yeah, and yet it took a fucking century to install.
Probably because of a lot of disk writing.
It's the subtitles that they didn't put in the game that everyone was pissed off about.
Oopsie doopsie.
So cutscenes had subtitles, not cutscenes. You had subtitles when you would go up and talk to people, but cutscenes had no subtitles at all.
Okay.
And so people were pissed, and so they finally did the subtitles, as well as making it to where you can toggle the blur on and off, and a few bug patches.
Okay.
But for some reason, it was like tiny download took a century.
Well, okay, you have to figure 1 line for a cutscene is that much.
Yeah. That
much. So it's every single scene that it's trying to fill in. So it's a lot of writing.
Yeah. And literally. Then I cleared space because I wanted Wild Appalachia, the 76 download, which I'm excited for.
And I get it too.
Oh, it's a free download.
Oh, it's free?
Yeah, it's completely free.
I thought it was like $5.
No, it's a free update.
Oh, sorry. I'm used to hearing Fallout DLC pay $5.
No, which has never been a bad price.
No.
$5 for the pit was amazing.
$5 for Mothership Zeta.
Yeah,
shit.
Did you kill everyone on Mothership Zeta? Or did you get
bet
them all
your
out?
ass I did.
You didn't save anyone?
Fuck no.
Oh, wow.
Well, evil character.
Good point. Which I want to talk about the Appalachian thing. I don't have any experience with it yet, but I'm excited for it.
You know what? Screw it. When I get home, I'll download that too.
Yeah, it's a simple update. And it also did some bug fixing. And I saw some people bitching that they were still following through the world on Twitter, to which Bethesda very much went, just follow these steps and you'll stop. And then they went, oh, that worked. And then there was also someone that they told stop modding and it will fix it. And an argument came back of, well, you ban us from modding anyways. And it's like, that's not the argument they're making. They said stop modding, it's breaking the game. And you went, oh, you ban us from modding. But okay.
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah. So, things are going okay for Bethesda, I guess. I mean, they're still hurting, but
yeah, it's not as bad as EA right now.
I mean, they haven't bricked any consoles, so yeah, that's the big thing there is bricking consoles and bricking PCs.
Oh god, I don't even want to think about if my PC just burnt out because of a game I downloaded.
It would be terrifying, especially how much PCs cost.
Oh yeah, and I would demand if I had 100% proof that it was Anthem that broke it, I'd be like, you're replacing these things because I have a lot of things on there that you had mentioned with me that you don't put on OneDrive or a cloud service. Yeah. I have them directly on my thing. Fucking, how are you gonna replace that?
I mean, I've got photos on my iCloud because my phone automatically does it, but other than, I think, the current board program after us talking about this that I went through and set up to be an automatic OneDrive save, I don't OneDrive anything. And I've got a terabyte sitting there.
Yeah.
And I've got a 7-page Word document is the only thing on it other than some photos. So that's one thing I was thinking about. I don't know a lot about PCs. So it's very possible that game could go into a process that for some may be salvageable, but for me, I could potentially wreck my PC.
Yeah.
And then the response I get is, "Oh, you're not on PlayStation? Well, we're giving people new PlayStations."
Yeah, because
what?
I haven't done much digging to see if EA's been doing anything for these bricked consoles. I saw the rumor that they were giving out their legacy ones, the ones that looked really nice, as a oopsie doopsie. So sorry. Don't know if they're doing anything for Xbox. Don't know if they're doing anything for PC. It's all quiet and I don't like it. Like, let me know what you're doing for the fans so that way I can be like, oh, okay, I'll get, because real talk, I wanted to get Anthem.
I was interested when it first advertised, but it was one of those games that the more I learned, the more I saw, even before the bad started coming out, the less I was interested in.
Yeah.
And now the bad's just the cherry on top, making me, I'm glad I didn't spend that $60.
Yeah. And as for me, I fucking love mechs of all sizes. I love human-sized mechs. They make me go, oh, yeah, show me those fucking six-pack rockets.
Wait,
yeah.
Is there mechs in Anthem?
Yeah, the suits. The exosuits.
Oh, the suits. Okay, gotcha.
Like, I love it. I love those.
You said mechs, and I was thinking Titanfall.
Big. Yeah, you were thinking big.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking the small, portable, the fucking shoulder panel comes up and just fucking skittles all over the place.
Very Iron Man Predator style.
I fucking love that shit.
Gotcha.
I fucking love it.
That being said, do you think Anthem can save them? Do you think EA can save this? Do you think Anthem can save this?
If there is a way to, by all means. But I think
I don't want to see it do bad.
I think that this damage did a lot more bad than good, so I don't think they're gonna. I think recovery is gonna be really hard for EA for the next year.
I mean, we're seeing how hard it is for Bethesda, and they didn't actually break your stuff.
No, but they're like, we're gonna work on this. We have a roadmap telling you what we're working on. Please be patient. We apologize that we rushed this project, or not to your expectations.
They put off the release for Appalachia by like a day or two, and I thought people were gonna flip, and no one said anything. And I was like, oh, thank God, because if you people got pissed off, I'd be like, you're the same people that are like, you should have taken longer to make 76. You
should have taken longer to have canvas bags.
Yeah, that too.
Oopsie doopsie.
So we've talked about it several times throughout this episode. What are you looking for from upcoming packs? What are you hoping to see? Packs.
Oh, PAX Prime. Yeah. Or PAX whatever.
Or whichever PAX is coming up first.
That PAX of which is coming up.
The East, West, Prime, North, South.
We're already getting gearboxes. We're already, huh?
I don't know. Continue. We're getting Gearbox.
We're getting Gearbox. I'm thinking System Shock is going to be announced there.
Do they own that?
I don't know, considering it's supposed to be, 2K, but 2K and Gearbox kind of do handshakes, because 2K owns BioShock, which is a derivative of System Shock.
Yeah.
So I
always thought it was just inspired. I didn't think they owned it.
I believe they do.
Okay, continue.
So I mean, those I'm obviously already hyped for. I fucking love System Shock. I love going through the dark halls, the flickering lights. But the way that the color scheme that you showed me, it looked a little cartoony.
A little bit.
It looked a little bit springy. But I'm gonna remain hopeful, just because with games, unlike movies, I can remain hopeful and be like, this is gonna be fine. The only thing is, EA better not show their goddamn face. They have nothing to show that will impress me. I guarantee it. Almost guarantee it. The only way that they can make better is if they bring back like EA Big and bring back like the old school SSX, where it's very light, very springy. You're fucking doing kickflips with your goddamn snowboard, doing shit like that. Make arcade games.
No, okay. So I just fell down a rabbit hole while he was telling me this. I found out who owns System Shock now.
Okay.
So the company that owns System Shock went out of business, but another company blossomed out of it, which went out of business. Then another company blossomed out of it, which went out of business. But another company. That being said, so Deus Ex, whatever you want to call it, and BioShock are the spiritual successors. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, Night Dive Studios is scheduled to release a remade version of the original game in 2020.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, Night Dive.
To be fair, I'm pulling this from Wikipedia.
I'll take it because it's actual facts. Well,
possibly
85% facts. But Night Dive, I can actually stand by it, because Night Dive takes old games. They helped push some of the old education games.
Okay.
The like Pajama Sam, they helped nudge those up. They did a lot of the old Gabriel Knight games. They're point and click adventures. They're really good mysteries. A little bit here and there as far as logic, but they're very fun. You know what? Them bringing up System Shock themselves, I could foresee them doing a lot more work, bringing up something else. They
actually did the original re-release for System Shock 2.
Okay, even better then.
Back in 99 was the So original publisher was technically Electronic Arts, so EA.
Really?
For System Shock 2, not System Shock 1. But they did the re-release in 99 through the developers of Looking Glass and Irrational Games.
Oh.
But it looks like, I see what you're talking about. They're mostly a re-release type of studio now. Like, that's what they're doing. They even did a re-release for Turok 2.
And that's going to be the first N64 game on the Switch.
Oh, Turok.
1 and
Just
2.
Turok. Oh, 1 and 2?
1 and 2.
Oh, okay. I only played 1 on the N64. I never played 2.
I played 1, 2, and then 3 on the GameCube.
My issue with 1 was always that it was too dark, and you didn't want to fuck with the lighting on the TV, so it'd fuck up everything. That was back before you could change the lighting on your game.
Yeah, I will concur that was an issue. And then Turok 2
we're old.
Yeah. And then Turok 2 was a bit more bubbly, airy, had the color. The sound quality in 2, if I recall correctly, it required the expansion pack because of the XS. I don't want to say RAM usage, but that's all it was 4 more megabytes of RAM.
So there's 3 other games that they have as a TBA right now through them for re-releases.
Oh, yeah?
Power Slave.
No.
Blood.
No.
And Machines Wired for War.
Okay.
I don't know what
these all seem like they're old.
They are. You're talking Power Slave was 96, Machines Wired for War was 99, Blood was 97. Last year they re-released Metal Fatigue, which was a 2000 game. 2017 they did Turok 2: Seeds of Evil, Space Rogue Classic, Tender Loving Care, Titanic Adventure, Out of Time.
What the fuck?
All those are 80s and 90s games.
Yeah, I mean,
I think it's a smart idea
to uproot games, and they don't really touch too much on the graphics. They do small things to make it fit well on a HD
make
TV
it run
monitor.
well, make it look okay.
Yeah,
8-bit can still be a thing, and N64 graphics can still be a thing. Because I'm playing Banjo-Kazooie, and while you can tell it's from the N64 era, I don't say it looks bad. It just looks like it's an N64 game. But I'm playing it on an HD TV through an HD console, no problems.
It's brought up.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I'm okay with that. If you can make it run well, HD, and no more issue, like, or maybe even, as you were mentioning, maybe controller conflicts.
Yeah, because
fix that.
Yeah, like I had mentioned with trying to play Resident Evil 4, going from the PlayStation 2,
and I still stand
and
by
GameCube controllers.
I still stand by that. You're probably one of the only few people I know that has a problem with that aiming style.
Probably, but to be fair, I'm pretty sure I played that on GameCube.
GameCube was a little bit of a
so that's a very different change for me. But then I was playing Snake Eater.
Okay. I will say the whole entire line of Metal Gear games have either really, really okay aiming just because it's automatic, or really, really...
Well, and what kills me is I'm laying on the ground, I get the gun into place and everything, and I pull the trigger, and I somehow miss. I sat there and fought to aim, miss. He turned, and I was alerted and everything, and it started to count down. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't want to deal with it. I honestly don't want to deal with it.
You want to know the really cool thing?
What?
And that I actually will gloat about? I beat that game on European Extreme.
Wow. I was playing it on, I think, the highest you can go for your first playthrough.
I think it's just hard. I think it's hardest.
I don't remember. I'm playing it on the PlayStation 4, so I don't know. I don't know. I think it might be me, but at the same time, I can go and play original Doom, and it's nothing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean... And that wasn't even a console game. That was a PC game back when it launched.
You are correct. And I mean, the only thing I ever go back to Doom for right now is just the music.
No, the music's great.
Like, all the Doom...
I like the fast-pacedness.
All Doom games have good music.
Yes.
Prove me wrong. Even Doom 3, in its limited fucking potential, still had pretty good music.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed the music in Doom 3. I think the issue with going back and playing Doom is you forget how long it is. So you go through and you beat the first set of levels, and then the second set of levels come in and you go, oh crap.
Oh, right.
That's right. There's more to this game. And then you're like, do I really feel like going through? Maybe.
I mean, yeah, fuck it.
But I enjoy going back to certain old games. I've gone back to the old Ratchet and Clanks. I know those aren't as old as some of these, but when I stop and go, Ratchet and Clank 1 came out on the PlayStation 2. Snake Eater, was that PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1?
That was PlayStation 2.
Was also PlayStation 2, and I'm like, nothing but aiming, auto lock, or free aim, no aiming at all. Yes, completely different companies, not the point.
You're correct. You are correct.
So, and I'm not saying it's a bad game by any means.
Oh no.
But I'm saying after experience,
I will fist fight you.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good game, and I do have to say that the voice actor for Snake, as much as I love him,
David Hayter,
as much as I love David Hayter, there's parts in that where the commander's talking to Snake before you're even in the field, and he's talking all calm and everything, and Snake's just responding by yelling. And I'm like, what? Why are you talking so loud? Like, calm down, David.
Another little tiny tidbit about David. He made a TikTok account just so that way he could do the dummy thick meme.
Oh, that's so bad.
My ass cheeks are clapping and it's alerting the guards.
No, I like him, and I'm glad he cares about the character so much, and
he does.
He likes to have fun. And
he does, and he was a little bit salty that he wasn't in Metal Gear 5.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I'm like, it's not the same person.
It's not you.
Yeah, no. So I'm like, and they gave it to Kiefer.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I liked him. Yeah. He did good.
Well, is his technically boss then?
Now see?
Potential spoilers, I guess.
Huge spoilers. Metal Gear has multiple bosses over the course of time between Metal Gear Solid 3, which is technically the first game.
Yeah, it's in the 80s. No, the 70s. 80s?
80s. 87.
Yeah.
All the way to 2014, which is Metal Gear Solid 4.
It's very Resident Evil, but not out of order, where Resident Evil Raccoon City still takes place the year it came out, but 7 takes place in 2017 with her going missing in 2014.
Okay.
Where it's like it's bridging a huge amount of time.
And it even brings in Chris. Yeah. Who is a staple of this game now.
With their games, at least for the most part, they're in order. Technically 2 and 3 happen at the same time.
2, 3, and then Code Veronica kind of ends up in a weird time.
But I was more talking about the fact that they're willing to branch 30 years as if it's nothing to these characters.
And then you go, well, wait, how did Big Boss manage to stay alive this long? Oh, it wasn't him to begin with.
Yeah.
And then you begin to figure out that clones, or not just clones, but people taking the place of, and then you bring out sleeper cells, and then you bring out, okay, so why did the president die? Oh, just so that way the sleeper cell could wake up.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy shit, the Cold War is still going, even though it's 2014. And then it dawns on you, oh, wait a minute, it did literally go through 2014 and ended in 2015.
Yeah. It's definitely a very interesting story, and I'm not against it at all. But for me, going back and trying to play it, because I've played... Which one are you on the boat? Like the ship.
Boat? That's 2.
Okay. 2, I had no issues with 2's aiming. I don't know what it is. I played it on PlayStation 2, but that's the one I have the book for still.
Well, okay. Another thing about 2, you didn't get to play as Raiden yet.
Okay, true.
You didn't get to run around naked in covering your cyber junk.
Yeah. But you know, I sit there and I've noticed such a difference between those 2 games. The other issue I have with the franchise is it has a lot of games that are difficult to get a hold of now. A lot of the smaller ones, like they're like
Gran Turismo 2 would be one of the very few racing games I would love to go back and play. I mean, I'm not a major fan of racing games. I love racing games to a degree. It's just I can't go back and I can't play all these other ones because it requires a PS2 or an Xbox original or something that I don't own.
That's definitely one of the things I'm realizing is I'm recently realizing how many games I actually wanted to play on the Xbox original that I don't have and aren't backwards compatible yet. And I'm like, what am I going to go and buy one? I mean, it's $50 to buy one, so it's not that bad, but then am I actually going to do this? Am I going to go back to the big bulky controller? Am I going to go back to these old games? Yeah, the Duke. Well, they had one other than the Duke that wasn't as bulky, but it was still pretty big.
Yeah.
But as said, I've gone back and played other older games that I've thoroughly enjoyed. I played plenty of PlayStation 2 era games and PlayStation 1 era games that I enjoy. But recently, some of the games I never played on those consoles that I'm going back to and playing on a modern console, I'm having issues with. And I don't know...
Oh, like New Vegas?
Well, not New Vegas. New Vegas is the running. That's an issue. Like it does not want to run on the PlayStation 4. But I mean, like, me having the difficulties with playing Resident Evil 4, me having the difficulties playing Snake Eater, things like that. It's me. I know it's not... Well, it's partially the game for not having a proper aiming for Snake Eater, but it's more me for not figuring it out.
I will side with you on it. Snake Eater is very, very click 2 buttons to finally aim down sights and then pull the trigger. It's very finicky. I
also don't like that you can't move while crouched because he immediately gets on the ground and starts crawling.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, let me walk crouched. Like, I walked crouched in, like, even original SOCOM, you could walk crouched. Like, what the hell?
I think it was a little both ahead of its time while at the same time not being close to the time it was to be released. Yeah, I can concur. There are some jumbles. The story, however, that's where it all falls apart, and that's for another day if I can have time.
We can totally get into that one of these days.
Shit.
But
you want me to talk about fucking Metal Gear for a half hour? I fucking can.
There we go. The Metal Gear podcast featuring Justin. But no, one of the other things that I can compare it to is Drake's Fortune was a PlayStation 2 era game that runs so much better. Granted, it was much. I do believe it was later in the PlayStation 2's lifespan.
I mean,
but you were given the same technology.
Yeah, but you also have to figure it has the hardware. All it is changing of shaders. Is the shader fine? Is it stretched? You can stretch it to save space. It's all a matter of compressing.
Yeah. So, I don't think I had anything else for today.
I am square, my friend.
Good? All right. So, we'll let you guys go listen to something less annoying than us.
And now it's time for advertisers.
Right.
Right.
So, as always, we have Tokyo Treat.
Tokyo Treat will be on the top one, and then right below that, we're gonna have something brand spanking freaking new.
We got a new little sponsor-esque thing.
Fucking Loot Crate.
He's shaking over there. Yeah, we got Loot Crate, guys. So if you just follow the link we'll post for Tokyo Treat, Loot Crate, both. Hey, I don't know what your budget is. If you have to do one, both, whatever, steal a friend's, use our link though.
Yes.
And I subscribe to Loot Crate still. I've had Loot Crate for probably close to 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And we just got this month's crate, not yesterday, but the day before. And I was very happy with the quality, the items. The issue is they sent me 2 things for things that I'm not into.
Yeah, I mean...
Which is not their fault.
But your girlfriend will like at least one of them.
Yes, and the other one, it's a practical item. It's a cup.
It's a cup.
I'm going to use it.
Naruto is very niche.
Yeah, so if you haven't opened your Loot Crate yet, we're going to give you a little bit of spoiler on your Loot Crate. Sorry. T-shirt was Adventure Time. That was one of the items that I don't watch Adventure Time. I've catched a couple episodes. I don't have anything against it. I just never got into it. But it's still a comfy shirt. My girlfriend's going to wear it because she watches Adventure Time. We're good. The other thing was a very well-made glass. Would you call it a tumbler, or is it too big for a tumbler?
It's a tumbler.
Okay. So a very well-made tumbler with Naruto on it. And it's a blue glass with a full Naruto on the front. And it's a nice glass. I like it. I've just never watched a single episode or read the manga.
I don't know if it's Naruto or his son Boruto, but it's one of them.
I don't know. He's blonde. He's doing stuff with his fingers. But it's a nice glass. But then the other thing is, we get the digital comic. You get a t-shirt every month, and you get a digital comic. At least, I think, 2 issues of a digital comic every month. So it's worth it there alone. Because you figure the digital comics costing you anywhere from like $4 and up on average. So you're getting 2 of those. You're already at your $8 to $10.
And then they sometimes include these things that we don't primarily use. What is it, $60 off of a certain... Yeah,
so the last couple months they've been sending me $60 off of HelloFresh, which is one of those box subscription companies for food, which we aren't sponsored with. But it does come in my Loot Crate every month. And the way it works is it's $10 off of... it's $20 off of 3 orders, I think.
Okay.
Is how that works. So, I mean, it's like you're getting your Loot Crate, and then you're possibly saving money on another crate while getting fresh food while getting a shirt. So that's one less laundry day, and the digital comics. So that already there kind of pays for the value of the Loot Crate. And then there's other stuff in there normally. So like I said, I got the tumbler, and then I got a pretty cool looking little Hulk thing where it's like he's smashing out of a wall, but it also kind of looks like he's 3Ding out of a comic cover almost. It was kind of cool. The last couple of months, I've gotten some figures that were pretty cool. And they do some pretty high quality figures as well as a couple months ago. I don't think I got I didn't get the Mega Crate. I think I got the one kind of in between, because you have the chance of winning a Mega Crate, winning like a smaller crate that's bigger than the regular Loot Crate, and then the Loot Crate itself. And that one actually came with the JD Finks, however you say his name, from Gears of War. And it's a figure that I can completely paint.
Oh, yeah, the artist proof.
Yeah, it's the artist proof, which I didn't paint it. It's in the box. It's hanging on the wall. We're staring at it right now.
Yep.
So I like the Loot Crates. I feel like some months I get items I don't like, and that's not Loot Crate's fault. That's because I'm not fans of things.
Yeah.
So I would never hold that against them. Yeah. So if you guys want to check out our Loot Crate link, we'll have it there at the bottom. If you want to check out our Tokyo Treat link, it'll also be there at the bottom. So you can get yourself some yummy snacks and some nerdy stuff. As normal, we'll put in our Twitter, our emails, and any other contact information you may need. Until next time. Thanks, guys.
Not today.